Wow, was that a game? Undermanned doesn't matter because we got that new dynamic duel of Van Vliet and Pascal Siakam. Welcome to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host Ajit, and we're gonna jump right into it and talk about what happened tonight. To start things off the bench, man, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, you are the man. Definitely another junkyard dog. We should probably give him that name. Add a 3.0 to the end, and he's probably gonna become another fan favorite. He has 16 and 11. His hustle in that fourth quarter where he had those two offensive boards, that was very clutch. Our defense is still stellar. I think we held him under 40%, I believe. And I honestly thought Van Vliet was going to go for another career high. He only had 34 off of what he had on opening night. But Siakam still out there showing he can be a number one option. And he had 36 points today to go along with, I believe it was 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Marc Gasol, he didn't really have much of an offensive impact. He hit some clutch threes at points, but I believe he had 4 blocks in the game, so that was really good. What else? Norman Powell didn't have a good game. Stanley Johnson played, but really didn't do much. I believe until OG is out, he's going to get a few minutes here and there. OG, obviously, Kawhi injured him right at the beginning of last game and gave him an eye contusion. And Terrence Davis definitely hit a lot of clutch threes and had 15 points, 6 boards. Let's talk about our field goal percentage. We had about 46% from the field. We were 44% from 3, 94% from the free throw line. Only had 12 turnovers. We had 20 assists, which is not bad. We finally led in rebounding in a game, basically, because it felt like all of the last few games we were getting out rebounded by the opposing team. 9 blocks, and that's about it. Let's just talk about how our team over here, the Toronto Raptors, the NBA champions, how they've been so gritty on that defensive end. They've held most of their opponents, I believe, under 40%, and this is around 39.6, so they boosted it up to a 40. My man, they're just killing people on the defensive end. Did you see what they did to Kawhi Leonard last game? The guy was 2 for 11, had 12 points, had 9 assists, but also had 9 turnovers, and that was his career high in turnovers. Talk about shutting him down. Every time he touched the ball, it was always a double team. And even this game, look at Damian Lillard. I mean, I believe he had 9 points maybe? Let me go double check. Give me a second. I know CJ McCollum had 19 points. Yeah, Lillard had 9 points. He had 10 assists. But he's 2 of 12 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. Rodney Hood had a breakout. It seemed like he was going to help them win that game, but he started, disappearing. I believe he disappeared in the fourth. Wasn't the same player like he was in the first half. And they tied it. I believe McCollum took him on a run in the beginning of that fourth. It was like an 11-2 run, and they tied the game at 89. And after that timeout that Nick Nurse took, we came back. Van Vliet hit a 3. And then he got a steal, and they gave an alley-oop to Pascal Siakam, and then we were up 5. And then I believe McCollum came back and hit a 3 to make it a 2-point game. But after that, Raptors pretty much had in the bag. Siakam went off in the fourth. I believe he had 13 points in the fourth quarter. And, man, that spin around is a nasty move, bro. If you guys... that's just unguardable. And I told my boys the other day that I believe that the way his improvement is from year to year in these past couple seasons, I believe he'll be a better player than Giannis in 2 years from now. And obviously we have a good chance to get Giannis in 2021 because he's an international player, and obviously there's a lot of Greek people in Canada. And it's kind of it's a multicultural city, so he's definitely going to love it if he comes here. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Milwaukee does not make the finals this year and they shit the bed next year. But, that's still a couple years away. But Siakam's 3-point, the shot is like very fluid now. Like compared to how he was shooting last year and even the year before, like he's just pulling up, and his transition, his motor, like he's just unguardable. Especially when he's like he hasn't had an off night, but like most nights, like especially, do you remember that game against the Pelicans in New Orleans? Like he went off in that third quarter. He's like, you can't guard me. Even today, like the level, there's levels to this, and Portland did not have a power forward that was anywhere remotely close to Siakam's level, and that's why he was just using and abusing everybody. And yeah, I mean, I knew that they were thin, right? Like Portland doesn't have, like, their forwards aren't any good. Like Zach Collins is out with an injury. I believe he has like a separated shoulder and he just had surgery. And Scal Labrissiere, like he barely plays. He played today, but he barely did anything. And he plays more at the center spot, even though he's like as small as a power forward. So people like Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Chris Boucher, they're able to take advantage and, you know, get offensive boards and help the team get second chance points. And Whiteside, I mean, in the first quarter he was going off a bit, but, you know, Whiteside, he runs out of gas like after the first half, and he becomes a non-factor. And that's why Miami got rid of him. Ken Bazemore hit a couple. I believe he had a decent game, but, you know, everyone else really didn't have anything going on for them. Mario Hezonja, he had more points than Lillard, but it was really Rodney Hood that was really basically keeping them in the game, and CJ McCollum had his moments. Overall, it was a really good team win, and they're 3-1 on this road trip. Obviously, the Lakers and the Clippers back-to-back is probably the most deadliest you can have this season, and we were able to steal one in LA against the Lakers because our bench came through. And then, unfortunately, they ran out of gas against the Clippers in the fourth, and we were only able to score 10 points in that quarter. And they were able to just bully us and just outwork us towards the end of that quarter. So we lost the game to the Clippers, and then we had a couple days to rest, came back into Portland, took them out, and now on to, I believe, Dallas to end the road game. I mean, the road trip. And we have a couple days to rest. I believe the game, if I'm not mistaken, should be on Friday. Let me double check this. Let's see the schedule. No, it's on Saturday. So we have a couple of days to rest and then take care of them, and then we go back home and we play the New Orleans. Sorry, I was talking about the New Orleans Hornets, but obviously it's the Charlotte Hornets, and they're playing on Monday. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this team. But man, what a resilient team! What a resilient win, especially against the Lakers. Man, that Lakers win was so impressive. Like I looked at that game, I was watching the whole game, and just seeing how they were able to bounce back with such a shorthanded team. It really shows that championship DNA they have in their system now. Like a few years back, before the year of the championship run with Kawhi Leonard, like I was always scared when we had a lead, because it was like, oh shit, it's the Raptors, here we go again, and you think they're gonna lose that lead because they're always tripping out towards the end if it's a close game. But ever since they've won this championship, I mean, I'm never worried about them, you know, having if it's like a 2 or 3 point game or even a tying game going into like the last few minutes of the fourth quarter or even overtime. Like I'm not scared to, like, you know, I expect them to come out with the win because they all have that championship experience. They know what it takes. This is just a regular season game. It ain't no playoff game, so they know that it's not that much pressure. And right now their record is 8-3, and I only see them going up from here, especially with Kyle Lowry, you know, being rested for the next couple of weeks. It's just like, you know, it's just a hand injury, so he's still going to be able to be in shape. Ibaka, on the other hand, I'm not sure, but he's having a really good season so far. It's probably the best we've ever seen him in a Toronto Raptors uniform. Patrick McCaw, he's, you know, going to be out for a month or so, and they're going to probably reevaluate him. But yeah, OG should be back soon. I mean, he has an eye contusion, but I don't see him staying off for that long. But I'm really, really, really impressed with Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. I always like called it. I always said that man, his motor, it's unmatched right now. Like him coming, he's definitely gonna get minutes now. Like he was on the bench and I never understood why. I was so pissed off at Nick Nurse for not putting him in so much in the preseason to see what he could do. But I also understand that he wasn't playing to his ability, and that's why he didn't give him the minutes. But now he has to put him in because he doesn't have that many bodies. In these last two games, even in the Lakers game he was decent. Clippers game he did a tremendous job on Kawhi with a few steals there on him, and making him turn over the ball. And then obviously today, Portland game, that was his best game so far as a Raptor, 100%. Just the way he was hustling, diving on the floor, getting loose balls, making his free throws today, and just the energy. Like you saw Van Vliet when he passed him that ball, gave him the and one in the paint, and he dunked it, and you just saw how pumped up Van Vliet was just to boost him up. We're here, bro. Like this is your moment. Take advantage. It's your time, bro. Get yourself back in the rotation. Like he's still young. He's only like 23 years old or 24 years old. Like he could be a serious piece to our team, and for the future. Like it doesn't have to just be a 1-year thing. Like we could sign him again if he's able to keep this pace up and give us proper minutes. Obviously, OG, when he comes back, he's going to take that starting role, and Rondae is going to be off the bench, but I could see him getting about 20 minutes now, for sure. If he's going to give that kind of energy on the defensive end and even give us something on the offense, like the fact that he had 16 today, like no one expected him and Terrence Davis to have 31 points together. Like, bro, that's like extra points that we don't even expect, right? And it's just like damn, those two are like, even Terrence Davis, bro, like guys, Terrence Davis is like another Van Vliet 2.0, Steady Freddy 2.0, for real. Like he's not scared of the moment. Like he'll go in. You saw him in the preseason. He went against Westbrook, got an and one, and went in his face. And bet on yourself, 2.0. This is it. He's gonna get those solid minutes. Like right now, the way Rondae's playing and the way Terrence Davis is playing, and even Boucher, the way he's playing, like Patrick McCaw might lose playing time because of this, even though he's going to be out for a month. But he might lose his rotation spot. And who else? Like Stanley Johnson, I don't even want to get into him again. Like that's just really, I don't even know how to say it. Like I expected him more out of him, especially after that game against Kawhi Leonard last year. He played like his best defense that I've ever seen him play, and he can't even keep himself on the floor. Ah, man, he's stressing me out. I was excited when they signed Jefferson, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, and Stanley Johnson, but we'll see how it goes. The season's still early, but he better step it up now while the rotation has less bodies. Otherwise, he's just gonna get lost in the struggle. And yeah, well, that's gonna do it for now. We'll catch up again when the next game comes up against Dallas on Saturday. But till then, stay tuned. And if you enjoyed this content, if you mess with our podcast over here, leave us a sub, like the video, and see you soon. Peace.